All right, class. So today is the 25th. Yes. Come get one off the table, baby. Okay. Anybody else need one? Please come pick up the sheet off the table. Okay. All right, good folks. We are going to be writing linear equations. We're going to be writing linear equations. I want you to fold sheet downward just like this because we're going to fold it in our notebook like this. Okay. I'm going to paste it in our notebook like this. All right. So turn it just like this and we're going to write on it. We're going to be writing linear equations. We're going to be writing linear equations. All right, Miss Reyes, I may have forgotten what is a linear equation, so let's write that. There's a smaller word in linear that's line. Linear equations graph straight lines. If I was to graph a linear equation, it would graph a straight line. So linear equations are equations that graph straight lines. Linear equations are equations that graph straight lines. There is a form in which well, actually, there are many forms as to how a linear equation can be written in. Just like there are different uniforms, like if you work at Taco Bell, your uniform looks a certain way. If you work at McDonald's, it'll look a different way. So there are different forms in which you can write a linear equation in, okay? One of those forms that we're going to talk about today is the slope intercept form. Slope intercept form looks like this. Y equals mx plus b. That's what the slope intercept form looks like. Arturo, I just told you to plug your computer up back there. I need you to sit in your regular seat. I thought you was going to self-correct, but you didn't. But I did give you time to self-correct. You just never did it. No, that's not the point. All right, so your slope intercept form, this is the way when an equation looks like this, it's written in a slope intercept form. There are multiple ways that an equation could look, but this is just one of the uniforms that an equation can be in. So that means y is by itself, then you have an equal sign, then you have a number beside x, then you have a number that has no variable attached to it at all. When you see an equation that looks like this is called the slope intercept form. This m, or the number that's attached to the x, is called the slope. Remember, we wrote the definition for a slope, which is the steepness of a line. We have two formulas for slope: rise over run, and y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The slope is attached to the x. The operation between m and x is multiplication. Put a little dot there. The number that is by itself is called the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis and it's also called the starting amount. So recap, Ms. Reyes. Linear equations are equations that graph straight lines. Okay? There are many ways that a linear equation can be written. There are many uniforms that an equation, or many styles in which an equation can look like. When you see an equation that looks like this, where y is by itself, then you have an equal sign, you have a number that's attached to x, and then you have a number that has no variable attached to it at all, it's written in the slope-intercept form. The number that's attached to x is called the slope. Oh, the other word for that is rate of change. Section 1, please. Restroom.
Go ahead and bring section 2 since there's no voice.
Okay. So now let's do some examples. All right, you have the first example. Y is equal to 7x plus 3. This is written in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Which one of these numbers would be the m, and which one of these numbers would be the b? It's only two numbers. Which one of these numbers, 7 or 3, would be the m?
7.
7. Which one of these numbers, 7 or 3, bless you, babe. Which one of these numbers, 7 or 3, would be the y-intercept, or b?
3.
3. Number 2. Call.
Can you put your arm down, please?
Miss Cone told you to take that thing off. She did. She did. Take it off, please. Take it all the way off. There you go. Y is equal to 1/2. This right here is right 1/2. I'm sorry, y'all. X minus 6. Which one of these numbers is the m?
1.
Which one? Wait, baby. Which one of these numbers is the b? It's not 1. I want you to write it. I'm going to pause for the calls, give you a chance to think about it and write it. I want to walk around to see what we have. All right, so this is, again, the slope-intercept form. This is how linear equations, one of the ways in which linear equations are written. You have y is equal to mx plus b. The number that's attached to the the number attached to the x is going to be the slope or rate of change. The number that has no variable attached to it is going to be your starting amount or your y-intercept. So if this is a plus 5, b is going to be plus 5. If it's minus 2, then b is going to be minus 2. So here, the number that's attached to the x is 1/2. So m is 1/2. The number that has no variable attached to it is minus 6. So b is negative 6. Let's look at number 3. Y is equal to 8x plus 1 over 4. See if you can write what the m and the b is. I'm going to pause for the calls. Talking. Some people got this one right, so that's good. Which one of these numbers is the m? Yes, I think 8. Positive 8 is the m. Which number is going to be the b, the y-intercept? 1/4. Correct. Okay, so now what about this? I have 7x minus 3 is equal to y. Which one's going to be my m? Which one's going to be my b? Pause for the calls. All right, so look. This is still written in slope-intercept form. It's just backwards. Y is still by itself. You got mx plus b. My m is the number that's attached to the x. That's 7. My b is negative 3. All right. All right. Let's open the page back up. So now we're going to write these linear equations. They give us m. They give us b. M here is This is M. This is B. This is M. Y-intercept, that's B. This is M. Rise over run. This is B. Y-intercept. This is M. This is B. This is M. This is B. Okay. All right. So now we want to write these in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. You write it, please. That is the form that we're writing these equations in. Yes, y equals mx plus b is the form that we're writing it in. Okay? We're writing it in y equals mx plus b. Okay? All right, so now all we're doing is substituting m, the number for m here, and the number for b here. So this is going to be y is equal to, my m is 4 over 5, x, bring down the x, and my b is negative 8. So that's minus 8. This is my equation. Number 2, we're going to do the same thing. Raise your hand if you're still writing. We're going to write it in the slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. We're going to write y equals, my m is negative 1, x, my b is minus or negative 5. So that's minus 5. I can write that, or I don't have to write the 1. I could write it as y is equal to negative x minus 5. Mm-hmm. You said zoom out. Sorry. All right, see if you can do 3 and 4. We'll check it, and then if we are getting that right, then we'll move on to the rest of them. I'm going to walk around and check, make sure we have those right. I didn't get to check everybody's, but that's okay. Okay. Q3, page 3. We're writing linear equations. Given M and B. Given the slope and the y-intercept. Everybody should have this page glued down. You can put this back to the side. Now we have this sheet. Please put your first and last name at the top. If you don't have this sheet, please raise your hand. If you don't have this sheet, please raise your hand.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, y'all. We got this, okay? Now we're going to be writing a linear equation given the line. Okay, remember, a linear equation, just in case you forgot, definition, linear equation, right at the top. A linear equation or linear equations are equations that graph straight lines. Are equations that graph straight lines. The smaller word in linear is line. Let's write this down today. The smaller word in linear is line. Linear equations are equations that graph straight lines. So we're going to write the equation for the straight line. Linear equations are equations that graph straight lines. So we're going to be writing the equation for those lines. We're going to be writing the equations for those lines. Okay? Good. All right, and y'all can do this, okay? You can do it. I'm going to write the steps out to the side. Steps. The first thing that we're going to do is find the slope. Find slope. That's number one. We're going to find slope. Write it, please. Step one is to find the slope. Step one is to find the slope. We're going to find the slope first, okay? Step one, find the slope, Ms. Reyes. Find the slope. What letter represents slope?
M.
M. M is the letter that represents slope. M. What is one of the formulas for slope? There are two. If we have a line, what do we use? Rise over run. Very good, baby. Rise, up and down, over run, left to right. You go up, you're being positive. If you're looking down, that's negative. If you're going in the right direction, that's positive. If you're going left, that's negative. Second step, find B. Find y-intercept. Yes, baby. Mm-hmm. Find y-intercept. What letter do we use for y-intercept? B. Very good, baby. B. We use B for the y-intercept. Miss Reyes, what's the y-intercept? Put a star so you can remember. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. Where the line crosses the y-axis. Which is the y-axis, Miss Reyes? That's that up and down number line. That's the vertical number line. The up and down number line is the y-axis. The up and down number line. So wherever the line crosses the y-axis, that's going to be your B. Wherever the line crosses the y-axis, that is going to be your B. Okay? Lastly, you're going to substitute M and B into the slope-intercept form. Substitute. You're substituting M and B into y equals mx plus b. Just like we did on the last sheet. I'm going to pause for the calls. Give us a chance. Make sure that you write. I'm going to zoom back out just in case you missed a step. Okay, let's do number one together. First thing is to find the slope. So we're going to count rise, over, run. Okay, so we're going to pick 2 points on the line. Remember, the 2 points that we choose, you have to be able to read them. Please don't, Atura, please don't choose points that are in the middle of and that are not at an intersection. We can't read it. Okay, make sure that you choose points you can read. Okay, so let's look at this. What are 2 points that I can read that are actually on the line? Can somebody give me 1 point that is actually on this line? Positive what? Positive 2 and 1. Positive 2 and 1. That's a good point. What's another good point on that line?
-1.
-1 and
-3.
1, 2, 3. Very good. That's another good point. So now we're going to count rise over run. We're going to count rise over run. How far you go up or down and how far you go to left or right. What kind of slope is this, by the way? Positive, negative? Is it positive or negative, the line? Why is it a positive slope? You're right. Why is this positive slope? From left to right, what? The line is going up. Very good. So from left to right, this line is going up. All right, so let's count from here to here using the grid lines. How far do you go up? 1, 2, 3, 4. Positive 4. Why am I saying that this is positive 4? Say again, baby. Why is this positive 4 and not negative 4?
Because you went up instead of down.
Very good, because I'm going up instead of going down. All right, now let's count. Let's go to the right. 1, 2, 3. Positive 3. Why is this positive 3?
Because you're going over.
Because you're going to the right. So M is rise up 4, positive 4, run
3.
positive 3. Very good. Now we're going to find B. This is the part that's super easy, but if you missed it, then you missed it. So please pay attention. Alyssa, you ready, babe? Y'all ready? Carter, you ready? Okay, Julian, you ready, y'all? Okay. Angel, you ready? All right. Where does this line cross the y-axis? At what number is this?
-2.
This is -2. So this is my B. Do you see the line? And it crosses right here on the y-axis. This line crosses right here. This number on the y-axis is -2. So B is equal to a -2. So now we're going to write the equation. Y equals mx plus b. What are we plugging in for m? We got y equals, what's my m?
4/3.
4 over 3. What do I write beside x? Then minus 2. Please write it. Come on, Isaac. Y'all can't keep complaining. I don't understand anything, and y'all are not willing to actually listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Okay? Gotta actually listen and try to understand. Okay? It's school. School is what it is. Not everything's not gonna be fun. The older you get, the less fun you're gonna have until you make your own fun. You know, you gotta separate the two. You know, if you work hard, then you reward yourself by doing something you want to do. But as you get older, the less fun you have in school. Okay? That's just life. There's no way to really pretty this up. You just gotta do it. Please write it. Please give yourself the benefit of the doubt. It's really not as hard as you think it is. It's not. You can do it. All right, let's do number 2. What kind of slope is number 2? Positive, negative, undefined, zero slope. What kind of slope is this? Negative, because from left to right, the line is going down. This is a negative slope. That means I know my M is going to be a negative number. Please write. Come on. Come on, Nia. So now we're going to do M, rise over run. All right, let's pick 2 good points on the line. Okay, what's one good point on the line? Give me one point that's actually on that line that you can read. You said 3. Oh, 3 comma negative. What'd you say? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. No, give me a point. You're giving me a fraction. You said 3 over 2. What's the point that's on the line? Are you telling me 1, 2, 3? Okay, 3 comma, and you went down 1, 2, -2. That's fine. That's a good point. Very good, baby. What's another point that's on the line? Everett, can you sit up, baby? Go ahead, Aaliyah. Go over. You said positive 2? Mm-hmm. I went over positive 2. Okay, what do you think, Ricardo? 1, 0 is good. 1, 0 right here. This is another good point, okay? So now let's count rise over run. All right, so I can go from here to there. I have to go down. How many do I go down? 1, 2. -2 because I'm going down 2. Then how many times do I go to the right? 1, 2. +2 because I'm going to the right 2. So Nia, please listen, babe. This is going to give me a top number of -2 and a bottom number of +2 because I went to the right 2. Down 2, right 2. Let's reduce this. You have your calculator. What's -2 divided by a +2? -1. That's going to be your slope. This is your M. Now we have to find our B, right, Jaden? So in order to find your B, it's where the line crosses this y-axis. This is the y-axis here. Where does this line cross this y-axis? At positive, let's see, this is 0, 1, 2 is up here. So it's not at +2, it's at +1. It crosses right here at +1. That's where the line crosses. So B is equal to a +1. So how do I then write this as an equation? I got M and I got B. Mess that up. Y equals -1 x plus 1. Very good. And or you could say y is equal to -x plus 1. You could do that too. Please write. I'm going to work out another one with you, and then you're going to do 4 on your own, okay? You need at least one more. At least, okay? All right. Anybody still writing? I don't want to move too fast. Hayden, are you still writing? Come on. You're right. Let me know, America, when you finish. All right. Number 3. What kind of slope is number 3? What kind of slope is this? Negative. Very good, Ricardo. Good job, babe. This has a negative slope. So that means your M is going to be a negative number. Excuse me, man. Pick 2 points on the line. Give me one of the points that's good on that line.
4 and up 2.
All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. No, not quite. It's not perfectly on the line, so we can't use that one.
3, 3.
3, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. This is perfect. You see how it's in that crease? This is perfect.
And then this right.
What's another one?
1.
1.
And up 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's not perfect. It's a little under. You see how it's a little bit above that crease. So that's
2
not
and up 3.
2.
Or 4.
It's still not perfectly in a crease. You can't use that one. Oh, what you say, babe?
Can you explain one more time to the group how to pick where to put the dots?
The points have to be on the point, you have to be able to read the points. Okay? You have to be able to read. It has to be perfectly in a crease. It has to be perfectly in an intersection. If it's in between grid lines, you cannot use those points. Okay? You have to be able, it has to be perfectly in an intersection up on the grid lines. Perfect. Yes, babe. 0, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect, Ricardo. Perfect. So now let's count rise, over, run. How far do you go down and over? What's going to be my M? I'm going to walk around to look to see if we have that. What's your M and what's your B? I need to see you do that before I can successfully say, oh, you're ready to do it on your own. Because I see a lot of dim light bulbs. +3. Down 2 to the right 3. -2 over +3. B is 5.
This is all his makeup work. I'm gonna put it
Oop.
in. Josh,
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in
Hold
there.
on.